So tonight on the podcast, ladies and gentlemen, there were some brothers that was asked questions about Joe Biden. And the question they prefaced it with was, if Joe Biden was right there, what would they say to him? And boy, some of the answers from these brothers are quite interesting. Now, of course, let me address the people in the back of the room, the back of the class, the people that just parrot everything they're told, the people that don't have, any kind of critical thinking skills, the people that allows fear mongering from MSNBC and other locations. They're so afraid of everything. The people that is on the default setting and then they try to come over here and they think that they could tell me something. I guess to get me back in line with them. I don't know why they keep using that Republican thing. Oh, the Republicans going to be so happy with you. Even if they was. So I'm going to address my people. One thing the Republicans don't like about me, I can tell you that much. I address my people, and I'm talking about lineage-based reparations, period. I don't hear Republicans really touting lineage-based reparations. So I don't really understand that. See, this Republican talking point, I don't know why y'all think that could scare me or other people. Like, we don't care about you saying you're a Republican. Even if I was, what are you going to do about it? What are you going to do? Even if I was. I'm not, but even if I was, what are you going to do? Getting your feelings about it? Oh, well, he's a Republican, so he's a sellout. No, well, I'm not selling out no time soon. If anybody's selling out, it's you. But I'll get to why you so much of a sellout in this day and time. You go voting for a group of people who prioritize everybody else but black folk. But a person that's a quote unquote Republican is a sellout? Really? So you got these brothers. And I'll play what these brothers are saying. I'll just chime in on some things that I want to home in on. So let's go ahead and start.
Joe Biden was here right now, what would you tell him?
Let me tell you why. Cause man, gas half, bro. I ain't finna keep putting no $130, $45 in my car. Man, listen, Joe Biden, I'm gonna tell you like that. That's all I gotta say for you.
That brother is correct. Ever since Joe Biden's been in office, the gas prices has been astronomically high. Now, of course, you're going to have the Democrat supporters say the president doesn't affect gas prices. Why do you guys keep saying that? Well, you're talking to a guy who worked in the petrochemical industry for 22 years. And I can tell you from experience how the president affects gas prices. The previous president, Donald Trump, had promoted more domestic drilling, also offshore drilling for crude oil. I live in Texas. Sweet crude oil is plentiful in Texas. So you do more drilling in Texas. You do drilling in the Gulf of Mexico to get the oil. Then you don't have to deal with OPEC. Now, OPEC is an oil cartel made up of many Gulf states. Saudi Arabia is one of the biggest one. Now, when you drill more oil here, they had the Keystone Pipeline that had provided 15,000 jobs to a lot of men. And when Joe Biden came in, he got rid of that good crude oil that was coming off of Keystone Pipeline. All these men lost their jobs and their families lost their pay. And Biden didn't do one thing for the 15,000 men who was working on these jobs and their families, right? Because he wanted to be on some virtue signaling. But the virtue signaling that he's on is to really harm that industry, the oil and gas industry. No matter what you say, oil and gas affects everything. And oil is a natural resource that we have here in America and that we need. Natural gas also is a resource that we have here in America, and we should tap all the natural resources that we have so we can save money. So what Biden started doing is dealing with Saudi Arabia again and getting oil from them again. And what happens? If you importing oil, you're at the mercy of OPEC at that point. So they could raise prices, they can cut production, they can do all kind of things, right? So now on top of that, then when Trump was in office, we had our strategic reserves full. What's the point of strategic reserves? So if you get into a wartime issue or some major thing where you can't do anything, get oil or whatever, America have their own strategic reserves. That way we can keep gas going and fueling emergency vehicles and people's vehicles or whatever. It won't be, hey, we have nothing anymore. We can't produce anything. Well, with Biden, your friend, decided to do was take our strategic oil reserves, send it to Europe. Why did he send all our oil reserves to Europe? Well, when Russia and Ukraine had their conflict started and Russia cut off a lot of the oil and gas that was going over to Europe because they wanted to punish Putin at the time, and with sanctions, then they stopped taking the oil and gas. So in order to meet that European need, Biden tapped our strategic oil reserves. So we don't have our oil reserves like we had before. We don't have the domestic drilling and offshore drilling. He cut off the Keystone pipeline. So this is why you have not seen anything come down. So do the president directly say the gas price is this price, that price, that price? No, he does not. But his policies affect gas prices. That's why when people say the president and what the president is doing is making the gas price go up or down, that's what they mean. So I just want to make sure I'm thorough in my explanation to you as a 22-year veteran of the petrochemical industry. Let's go to the next brother.
Was here right now, what would you tell him?
Tell him to get out of office, man. He's up. He's old. He's falling off of bikes. It's over, man. Give it up.
I tell him, let Trump back in office. He did better for the black culture.
Trump 2024, man.
How many times have we saw Joe Biden falling off of a bike? We seen him fall at the Air Force graduation. We seen him fall multiple times up the stairs on going to Air Force One. I mean, listen, I understand people have accidents. Hey, it happens, right? But that many times that Biden is falling, and we know he have cognitive decline. This is understandable. He do. I mean, look at his age. It's understandable. It's not a slight against him to say that. But Biden, when people get to that point, they need to be at home. They need to just be relaxing. He needs to be spending time with his family. He don't need to be dealing with the pressures of the world. He done that long enough. And the sad part about it, the Democrat Party, y'all just wrong, because y'all know that man is in the position that he's in. And instead of telling him, hey, look, Joe, listen, man, we need to get another candidate because it's just not looking good. But of course, you finish out the term, of course. But, hey, I mean, we just need to get, of course, nobody likes Kamala, so they can't depend on Kamala, right? So they want to hold Biden for another 4 years when that man really needs to retire from public service. He really do. Go eat his ice cream like he liked to do and do whatever else he liked to do. He should be able to go ahead and do that. Now, this brother here saying bring Trump back or put Trump back in office. There's a lot of people that feel that way because the gas prices, like the first brother, when you had things like 401k, if you had investments in the stock market, they were booming underneath Trump. They were booming. A lot of people got opportunities that they didn't get, especially black folks and small business, got a lot of opportunities. The Trump tax cuts helped small businesses in our community. Oh, yeah, there's a lot of people. And trust me, it's a lot of black folks that starting business, man. It's a lot. And I'm all for the black entrepreneur. We can't be working for them folks. We work for them folks, we have a glass ceiling. We'll see it but can't attain it. At least when we work for ourselves, the sky is the limit. When we work for ourselves, we also can create jobs in the black community as well. So we do need to be promoting our entrepreneurs, whether they just got started or they've been involved in it 2 years, 3 years, or they've been involved in it 30 years. We need to push more entrepreneurship because we know how these people are on jobs, how they cut us around. So listen, when you're in business, it's not about if you like a person or not. I don't have to like Donald Trump. I don't have to even like Biden. Only thing I care about is your policy good enough for my community and what I have going on. That's what business is about. You ain't living with now one of them people. All you worried about is what are you going to do for me in my community? But unfortunately, a lot of our people, they're so emotional. They're so emotionally tied to a Democrat Party. And it's almost demonic to me. Like you got almost a soul tied to a political party and no other group does that but you. Let's continue.
Joe Biden was here right now. What would you tell him?
Wow. I would say, how did you it all up, Joe? Because everybody was on Trump, trying to get him out the office. They worked real hard, got him out the office, got Biden in the office, and then he just dropped the ball.
There's another brother They're saying that basically Biden messed up. Now, talk about the gas prices with the previous brother. That's one thing. Then look at all the situation with Ukraine, literally on the brink of World War III. You look at the border situation. I asked someone I know personally who work on the border, and I asked him, was it good under Trump or Biden? He said Trump. I said, why? He said, because Trump had to stay in Mexico policy. So they couldn't just come flood over here like that. The moment Biden got in office, he just literally opened the floodgates through his policy. You understand? So now all these people are starting to flood the cities, and they're going to a black neighborhood near you. All that was Joe Biden. It wasn't Donald Trump. But you had to get that Trump out, though. You had to get him out because you were listening to Joy Reid saying, oh, he's so dangerous. And speaking of Joy Reid, I was, this morning, I was heading to the gym this morning. And, I was just on YouTube. A lot of times I catch up on different videos or whatever I'm listening to in my car. And I saw Joy Reid. I said, something told me, click that video. So I clicked the video, and Joy Reid just from the top. Oh, Trump, in his speech, he wants to establish a presidential dictatorship. I'm like, what? And she's like, oh, it's so dangerous. And if he get in office, he's going to get rid of all the checks and balances, and he's going to just be a dictator, and democracy is going to go. And I'm like, and then I said, let me go read the comments. So I'm reading the comments, and I'm like, these people, they're still easily swayed by these people. I'm like, I know I'm not the only one. That's why they also hated Trump too, because Trump called them fake news, and he said they lie all the time. And then you start seeing they are fake a lot of times, or they are stretching the truth, or just straight lying. You see that, and that's one thing the media don't like about him is that he branded them that and is stuck with them about fake news and how they lie all the time. And black people should know we have been propagandized for hundreds of years by that same media. So when Trump is giving it to them about what they're doing, I'm like, hey, shoot, I agree with it, because they have demonized black men and women through the media like forever.
Biden was here right now, what would you tell him? Suck my dick. Why? He's on some, you know what I'm saying? People thought they had it bad with Trump, but it's like Biden is on some, he's giving billions of dollars to other countries, but claiming we're in a recession. So it's like, who you really with? You know what I'm saying? We voted for an American president, not a Ukraine president. It's like, where our money at? You know what I'm saying? I'm not hurting, though. I'm pretty good. You know what I'm saying? But as far as the regular American people, that's 9-to-5ers and middle class and low class, they hiring IRS agents to come after people and whatnot. That's corny. It's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's bogus.
This brother right here said a mouthful. He talked about we voted, not we, but at least the country or people in the country voted for an American president, not a Ukraine president. Now, we talk about lineage-based reparations all the time and how this country owes a debt to black America for what we built here and what we was stolen from us, right? They say, oh, we ain't got no money. That will break the country if we do reparations. I mean, what are y'all crazy? But yet they got billions and billions of dollars that's going out all the time to Ukraine. Your tax dollars and mine going over there. But when black folks say, hey, we need reparations. Hey, we need to get our homeless off the street. Hey, we need job creation. We need affordable housing. We need all kind of things. But you don't have money for none of those things at all. But you got money for weapons and just unlimited cash to Ukraine, right? No auditing of the money. Not saying what is happening with it. We don't know if Ukraine taking the money and just stashing it somewhere. We don't know if, Zelensky running around all over the world want this sympathy or whatever. But dude, to me, he's just a finesse. I can't even stand to see him on TV. He finessing. He running around talking about his nation. And why is it our problem? That's you and Russia's issue. That has nothing to do with us. But Biden keep on. He gonna drag this country into World War III. And then it's gonna be our problem at that point, right? Or definitely at least you military age people, because understand, if they start World War III, their draft is coming, right? They just had a report come out saying that the military is below recruiting standards. Well, if they can't recruit enough people, you better believe that Congress will agree to draft. and you young people that's running around here, you will be in Uncle Sam's military. And you don't have to go. You'll just get 5 years in federal jail for dodging the draft. I'm just saying. But, at that point, you even hear about the draft. Oh, they approved the draft. All of a sudden, I'll be getting 1,000 emails. Oh, Phil, I don't want my son to go to the military. What country in Africa they can go to again to leave? I said, oh, now y'all want to go to Africa now. Now you want to leave because they want to draft your boy. Okay. Do he even have a passport? You know what I'm saying? I always tell people this. Some of y'all swinging that American flag so hard, I say, go to the military then when they draft you. I guarantee you, a lot of you swinging that flag so hard won't be swinging it if they tell you got to go fight a war in Ukraine. You'll be pissed because it has nothing to do with you. How many times our people have died in wars that had nothing to do with us? I think enough is enough for black people. We done our part. If anybody need to go to that military, let all the immigrants go. They came over here for a better life. Well, hey, go fight for it. That's how I look at it. Black folks have fought in every conflict, every war that America has had. But this brother also talked about IRS agents, hiring them to go after people. That's the last entity that need some money injected into it. Because good and well, they're not going to audit Jeff Bezos. They're not going to mess with Elon Musk or Bill Gates or nobody like that. They're going to mess with the small business owner. They're going to mess with the everyday person who got a job. That's who they're going to mess with audits and charging you more taxes and things like that. And people know that. And, if anybody, you talking about defunding the police, defund the IRS. That's who you need to defund. You know what I'm saying? Because everything that Biden's saying, he's lying. Oh, we only going after the people who make the money and don't pay their fair share. No, you're lying. Just like you said, people not paying their fair share, but all of a sudden you come out with a rule of people, when they even make more than $600 on Venmo, Cash App, or PayPal, or any kind of pay service like that, now they got to be turning in 1099s and all of that. When the old rule used to be, if you made $20,000 or more, you had to, pay taxes on that. Do you think Jeff Bezos deal with Cash App? Do you think Bill Gates fool with Venmo? Do you think Elon Musk, do you think he mess with PayPal like that? No, they don't. It's the regular everyday person that just got their business started and he's finally starting to make some money. Sister may be braiding some hair and starting to make money. One sister may be doing nails. A brother may just started out, got him a box truck, and now he's doing deliveries and he's starting to slowly make his money. And now you want to come after them, those small business owners. That's who that's going to hurt the most. But what I will say to most people is have your own business account in your credit union. I'm not a big supporter of banks, but definitely a credit union for sure. Have your own business account. Get away from using Venmo, PayPal, and Cash App. If you have to send somebody something in cash, use Zelle. That's where everybody's, that's the kind of workaround a little bit with some of that. You just use your Zelle account. But this is what Biden decided to do to the ordinary people, like that brother said. Hurting the ordinary people. It wasn't the Republicans that did that. It wasn't Donald Trump. It was Biden. But even if you're a person who works a job and you think, oh, it ain't got nothing to do with me, I don't care. Well, you should care, because eventually you may be in that position and now it's going to start affecting you. But see, this is why they don't like to put the camera in the face of a lot of brothers. Some sisters too, because we got some sisters that's on that too. But they definitely don't want to hear what black men got to say. The local media, they always want some buffoon to talk. They don't want a brother or sister to really know how to express themselves. They don't want that because they're afraid of answers like this. And see, the Democrats know they're in trouble with black people. They know. This is why the Congressional Black Caucus is about to spend more than $10 million to get out there and try to get black people back on the plantation. Why don't the Congressional Black Caucus, since they are everybody caucus, right? They're not a black caucus, they're for everybody, right? Why don't they go spend money with the Hispanic community and the Asian community and the Native American and the Arab and all the different people? Go spend money with them to try to flip the house. And we'll talk more extensive about that tomorrow. But go do that with them, because you never do nothing for us. I never see you take anything out of the Congressional Black Caucus budget and go do something for the community. I think the only person that you kind of notable that halfway, and I can't even say do something, but he at least doing a community event is Clyburn with his fish fry, some old greasy fish that black folks don't need. But hey, he at least I guess show his face, right? Not to say he's doing anything, but the Congressional Black Caucus, all this money, why don't you go do something in the major cities for black people? Do something nice for black people. I'm not saying a fish fry, but do something meaningful for black people. You don't even come to the major cities for black people and talk to them and listen to them and see what they need and what they need to promote. But when they get on to you about lineage-based reparations, you're looking around with cash payments. You're looking around. You don't want to agree to it because your Mzungu paymasters in the Democrat Party tell you, no, we don't want to give them reparations. Period. So the Democrats are in trouble. As I keep telling y'all, every election, they're losing more and more voters. And they're going to have to deal with the Gen X, the millennials, and the Gen Z. They will have to deal with us. And they are afraid to deal with us. They are afraid because they know they're going to have to give us something. And they don't want to give us anything. So they're trying to hold on to the civil rights generation vote as long as they can. But I told you, every 2 years, they're losing voters. Losing voters due to some of them actually walking away from them. And then just life is happening. People are passing away. Democrats will never win an election if they don't do something drastic for black people, which would be lineage-based reparations with cash payments, not a voucher, not education. We can pay for our own education. That's what we want. Cash payments. And as I tell people before, if you don't want to vote you don't want to vote for the Republicans, I'm good with that. Just don't give your vote to Democrat. I've had people say, Phil, man, I don't want to deal with that one of them parties. I'm gonna sit it out. At least you didn't vote for the Democrats. Now, if you want to go vote third party, I'm good with that too. If you want to vote Cornel West, even if you want to go vote for him, I'm good with that too. Not that I support Cornel West like that. I'm good with you voting for him. Why? You didn't give your vote to the Democrats. So vote for whoever you want to vote for or sit it out. Don't give your vote for them because they haven't deserved our vote. We have been a faithful constituent for more than 50 years. And what have we gotten out of it? Disrespect, talked down to, treating us like we were idiots, telling us wait. You remember what Misha Maynard said? They told her, well, you just got to give them hope. And that's what you got to give them. Just give them hope and tell them to wait and give them hope. And that's their thing. We don't want hope no more. Hope can't spin. Hope isn't tangible. See, Obama's the last person that got to use that hope as a way to get black people over there. Forget a hope. We need USD. We need money. That's what we need. You didn't give hope to Ukraine. You ain't giving hope to illegal immigrants coming in. You ain't giving them hope. You're giving them tangibles. So we got to have that if you want our vote. Period. And if you are not thinking that like that, then you don't respect yourself and you don't respect your community. You have no problem selling your community down the river by keep voting for those people. Have a backbone and say, I'm not going to vote Democrat. I'll either vote Cornel West, I'll vote Green Party, I'll vote Republican, or I'll sit it out. But I'm not giving you my vote. Especially for you silly people. Why are you encouraging people not to vote? Well, I just encourage people to vote. I just encouraged them to vote for any other party, any other candidate, just not Democrat. See, I encourage them to vote. I'm not against voting. I'm not about voter suppression. No, you can vote. Just vote Green Party or not Democrat, Republican. You want Cornel West, vote whoever you want to vote for. Do it. Or if you want to sit out, fine too, but just don't give the Democrats our vote. Because we have an issue with them because they have disrespected us for too long. And it's like in a relationship. When you're in a relationship with a man or a woman, you know if you allow disrespect, it's going to get worse and worse and worse to the point it's going to become abusive. A lot of you wouldn't be in a relationship with a man or a woman that do you what the Democrat Party do to black people. You'd have left a long time ago. You'd have left that marriage if you was in one a long time ago. You would have done that. So why do you allow this political relationship to be extremely abusive?